question, and I'm not sure what
You want bagel.
you're going to speak to them.
Either you or me. It really concerns me. Training that they receive.
So I'm Nicole Huang, and I'm here on behalf of Civic Leadership USA, and we are so proud to be a sponsor of this event. We really believe that voting is an important right that we have, and it's a way of having our voice being heard in the community and also by the people who make rules and regulations that affect our daily lives. So we are very proud to be here, and we want to encourage everyone to continue to participate and go out and vote. So thank you so much for having us.
I think it's really important for the youth of the Asian American community in Austin, even in Central Texas, to become more involved with political activism and also being more involved in their community. One of my minors in college was understanding Asian American studies and how does the Asian American perspective affect how we live our daily lives. And I think that it's really important that we look beyond just science and technology, and for Asian Americans in today's world to look at how they can make an impact in their community and really give back to building and supporting a community, because in Austin we know that the community is growing, and I think that having more leadership representation by Asian Americans is really important in terms of what can we do to better serve our community and the citizens in our community.
I have just a few words to say about the candidate forum. First of all, this is a forum organized by a number of different Asian organizations.
The League of Women Voters is nonpartisan. We never support or oppose candidates or parties, and we provide a wonderful resource for voters called the Voter's Guide that is available online.
We're going to go through the city council races first. The order that we'll go is Mayor, District 9, District 8, District 5, District 3, and District 1. Everyone will come up and have a minute and a half to address the audience and introduce yourself. And then I'm going to pose the same question for all four of you, and each of you will have up to 3.5 minutes to answer the question.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to be here. I remember well being here 4 years ago. At that point, I was a relatively unknown candidate, and the support that I got from this community really gave my candidacy legitimacy 4 years ago. When we talked 4 years ago, we talked prospectively. We talked about what we hoped would happen and what I would promise to do. We talked about making sure that this community had greater participation and leadership on boards and commissions and in council offices. And we've done that, and the percentage of appointments is higher than the community ratio. My chief of staff is from this community. We talked about taking a more active role on immigration issues, and I've been able to help lead on that at the local and the state and the national level.
Hello everybody, good morning. So I stand before you extremely grateful to be here and honored to live in a city that allows pretty much anybody to run for mayor. I think our campaign is actually quite historic in the sense that we are the first candidate for mayor of Austin, let alone any major city on the planet that is proposing universal health care for all people. A resident-owned network, a system of housing for millions of people that is utility bill free and rent free. We're proposing a worker-owned cooperative system that is profit sharing, 100% renewable energy.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be here. I was on the city council from 2008 through 2014, and as a council member, got to be part of the opening ceremony of this beautiful facility. And I'm so excited to be here today, 5 years later, seeing that it's thriving, and not only thriving, but that work is already underway to expand the center to serve our growing population. Now, as your mayor, just as I was as a council member, I will keep a keen eye on serving the Asian American community here in Austin.
When I get elected, I plan on working closely with the Greater Austin Asian Chamber of Commerce in order to perpetuate the continued growth of our small businesses here in Austin. As you are well aware, our city is in the midst of an affordability crisis.
We would like to hear from each of the candidates your main ideas on transportation, but also how you will ensure that the specific needs of the Asian American community aren't left out as you develop those plans for improving transportation. Mayor Adler, would you like to go first?
Transportation, obviously one of the two key biggest issues facing us, transportation and affordability, and those two things are intertwined, and we're not going to solve one of those without solving the other.
The city of Austin has a listening problem. So the first thing we need to do if we're going to solve any issues on transportation is we need to get serious about listening.
What do you think this city will be like in 20 years with regard to traffic if we do not get started now on a real mass transit, high capacity system in this town?
Transportation is a huge problem, and we 100% need to figure out how to build a rail. But building a rail is going to take time, a lot of time. And there are things that we can do while building a rail to help ease our traffic concerns.
My name is Kathy Tovo. I serve as Mayor Pro Tem and I represent the City Council District 9. And thank you so much for the invitation to be here with you this morning. It is always a privilege and an honor to be here at the Asian American Resource Center. It's one of my family's favorite places, and where we've been to lots of events and activities through the years here.
My name is Danielle Skidmore, and I'm a special needs parent, a transportation engineer, and a transgender woman running for City Council here in District 9. So with the massive failure of leadership that we're seeing at a state and national level, it's really clear that it's important for ordinary people to come forward and fight for our Austin progressive values.
I'm running because of affordability and accountability. We are losing our working class, we are losing our creative class, and this city's actually too expensive for even some doctors. I met some doctors in Travis Heights who live in a 650 square foot house because that's all they can afford. And I know boohoo doctors, but this city's too expensive for them. It's too expensive for me as a teacher.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rich DePalma, and I really appreciate being here. And so I'm running for City Council for Southwest Austin District 8, and it's to represent our families and our seniors. And it's really as simple as that. And we have a myriad of different issues that we're dealing with: transportation, affordability, access to services. But those are the core reasons why I'm running.
I want to run for District 8 because I want District 8 to be a voice for pushing for the investments in our people. My website's bobbyforaustin.com, and I would welcome the opportunity to talk to you, each one of you.
So my background is with expertise related to healthcare, and that means access to healthcare all the way from covering language barriers to transportation barriers, access to physical and mental health care.
So how can we afford to live in your district? We like you, we want to be in your district, but we cannot afford to live here.
And this is about sustainability. How is this city going to grow over time? And I don't think we can keep doing the thing we've always done and pretend that if we don't build stuff, people won't come. We know they'll come.
Good morning. I'm Susana Almanza, and I am a founding member and director of Poder. It's an environmental social justice organization that's been around for 25 years.
As I've watched the current White House administration and our state legislature allow the level of discrimination against minorities to escalate to the point that there's violence in the streets, I decided I needed to step up and do something. As a transgendered woman and a Jew, I remember my parents and grandparents saying, never sit still, never stand still.
I believe in diversity. You know, my whole staff, the oldest person there, and I always kid with my staff, is that they're only going to turn 30 years old. And so it is our young folks that really is more important to me.
My unique understanding of the Land Development Code and property taxes, I believe, qualifies me to represent the best interests of the residents of Austin that own, rent, and business owners throughout the city and the district at large. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Reedy Spigner, and I'm a third-generation Austinite. A little bit about myself is I've worked for the Senate Committee on Jurisprudence as a policy analyst. I've worked as a grant monitor for the Department of State Health Services, working with emergency management preparedness, and I'm responsible for over $30 million with my job now, working with the Office of the Attorney General, doing grant management for victims assistance grants, sexual assault grants, and also law enforcement grants.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mariana Salazar, and I am running for Austin City Council District 1. Unfortunately, our rents are going up, our property taxes are going up, prosperity is not being shared, our schools are under-resourced, and public transit is not working well. These are a few of the things that are motivating me to run for City Council.
My name is Natasha Harper Madison, born and raised Austinite. My parents got to Austin, Texas in 1975. My father was a musician, my mother is an artist, and they were looking for a place that wasn't just inclusive and acceptant, a place where they could actually thrive. And so from that moment on, we as a family have dedicated ourselves to making Austin the best it can possibly be.
It's great to be back. My name is Vincent Harding. I'm running for City Council. I'm a first-generation college graduate that's been motivated by my faith to help others. The theme of my campaign is all hands on deck. I believe together we can build a coalition of a future Austin with people of all ages, races, and economic statuses. My campaign will focus on affordability, transportation, healthcare, criminal justice reform, and education.
Yes, double check.
These are all Thank you.
Precinct 2, County Commissioner Precinct 2, Bridget Shea.
But I came to Austin to help start the state chapter of Texas Clean Water Action. And I worked with communities all around the state to help them fight, in many cases, plans for toxic waste disposal sites in their communities.
I am an attorney by trade. I came to Texas in 1983, so I'm way older than a lot of people in this room. With a full scholarship to go to the University of Texas School of Law. What I want to say, this year there are 7 candidates to run for the board trustee positions. There are 3 openings, and we are very fortunate we have 2 here with the short notice.
We have a war on public education moving forward, and it's important that we have advocates at the school board and for Austin Community College to fight for public education. And we need some new state legislators to address that issue.
And it's that education difference between high school, when your job prospects really aren't that great, getting a little extra training, an associate's degree or a path onto a 4-year college that ACC provides, that makes all the difference in our community and our lives.
I'm running because I believe that strong public schools are not only the foundation for our children's futures, but it's also the foundation of our communities, really the foundation of our democracy, if you think about it.
Would the House candidates for District 47, Ms. Goodwin and Mr. Workman, come on up to the stage and have a seat?
Thank you for having me out today. I am Vicki Goodwin, and I'm running for Texas House District 47. And so my passion is public education. That's why I got into this race, to work on school finance reform.
One of my main things that I'm working on over the year is water for Texas for our future. And that includes, as far as I'm concerned, desal, seawater desal. So I'm working on a bold initiative to try to get 5 large desal plants built along the coast of Texas so that we can have water that's drought proof.
Our school finance system is broken, and that's not a Democrat or a Republican thing. Pretty much everybody is in agreement that it's broken. There needs to be the political will to change it.
They're concerned about the issue of guns in schools and how the state is going to deal with that. And I think there's a range of possible solutions, and maybe you could talk about what's been going on and what your perspectives on that are.
This is an issue that can only be won in November. I'm just going to be honest. This is one of those hot button issues. It's so partisan now that if these issues ever get to the House floor, it'll split along party lines.
I am running for office to make a difference and because I show up. I think it is imperative that you have a representative who is accessible and available for the needs of the district.
The future is tech, the future is design, the future is creative, and we need to pay our teachers well enough to attract the very best so that we can produce the very best.